All right, man. What's up? What's up? Who am I here with today?
Wyatt from Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, and where are we at right now?
We're at the Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon. So, looking at the Grand Canyon, what is the first few things that pop up in your head?
First three things that pop up in my head. You might have to bleep this, but like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's breathtaking, man. It's crazy how something like this exists, especially being from the Midwest. We don't have anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's insane would be the third word. Insane.
What made you come out here?
I had a wedding in Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is one of the 7 wonders. You told me that, so I had to make a stop. I would kick myself if I didn't stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. Like, it's beautiful.
And it's like you're recording it, but that's gonna do nothing to show. Like, it looks like an oil painting.
Mm-hmm.
Like something you'd find in a museum. It's crazy.
So, like, if a viewer was looking at this from like the film camera,
Okay.
how would you articulate this whole scenery?
Vast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, man, it reminds me of like the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can kind of see the other side, but even, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but all the way back there between those 2 ridge lines,
Mm-hmm.
it keeps going. It's crazy how far it goes. And like the different colors from top to bottom, the different types of rock, how like it's flat up on this side and then you come out here and it just drops. It doesn't feel real.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It's crazy how something like this exists.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up in Midwest?
Ooh. Not a whole lot going around. A lot of farm kids.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of small town shenanigans. Back streets, kind of partying kind of thing. Other than that, not a whole lot going on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, you get together, cause havoc around town. Everyone knows your parents, so you're screwed. But other than that, about sums it up, man. The Midwest, ain't much going on. Cattle country.
Mm-hmm.
Cattle and corn.
Do you have a memory that just sticks out just growing up?
Going to my grandparents' farm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been in the family for like ever, I guess, since they built it. My grandfather was super proud of it. It's a round barn. Yeah, going there, racing bikes around it with my siblings. But I think that probably sticks out the most. He had cattle back there and all sorts of farmland. You go sledding out in the pastures during the winter.
Bro, what?
Yeah, great time. Great time.
Dang, man.
That and we used to take like this semi-truck hoods,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd rope them to like a 4-wheeler, and then our uncle used to drag us around the farm through the pasture and stuff in the wintertime. It's a blast. Nothing compared to this, though.
So would you say would you rather be in a city or would you rather be out in farmland? And
I think definitely farmland, but like driving distance to the city, because like there's a good mix of I'm on my own, have my own space, can be loud, shoot guns, I can play loud music, or I can go hang out in the city, go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends live in the city, so being within driving distance is nice.
Okay.
But those one-way streets in downtown Omaha, man, I rip my hair out.
Really?
Yeah, no, not for me. Not for me. What about you?
About me, born in the city, I'm gonna stay in the city. But like views like this makes me question like if I were retired, live out in the mountains.
I'll be a snowbird.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come retire in Arizona.
So what do you do for work, man?
I'm a deputy sheriff.
Deputy
in
sheriff.
Saunders County.
Nice. What made you decide that career?
A lot of it had to do with the Dallas shooting with the 5 officers that passed away or were murdered, for lack of better terms. And then also, I believe it was in 2016, there were 2 Des Moines officers, I'm originally from Iowa, that were gunned down in their cruisers by a gentleman. That actually happened a few years ago now on the 2nd of November. So they do a memorial thing every year, donations for different foundations they have set up. And yeah, so those were a big part of it. And then just wanted to do something to give back, especially as I got out of active duty, I was the Air Force's version of an MP, so it made the most sense to just switch over to law enforcement. So that's the story, man, as plain Jane as it is.
How's the ride been as an officer so far?
It's had its ups and downs. Ups and downs, I think, would probably best describe it. It has its moments where, kind of like we were talking about earlier, where things are kind of crappy, but there's always those moments where something good happens and it kind of reminds you why you got into it. And so kind of trying to stay grounded to that, I would say it's a big part of it.
So how do you cope? Like, what is your method of staying grounded?
Music's a big one for me. Going to the gym, lifting, hanging out with friends. Friends are a big one. Go to this little bar. It's called Jack's Place. Insane karaoke every Thursday through Saturday. I'm plugging it right now. But yeah, hanging out with them. I made the mistake. A lot of my friends are also in law enforcement. I know everyone says you shouldn't do that, but it's hard not to when you work with them all the time. I don't know if you've found that yet, where it's like you feel like you're better friends with them because of the situation. Almost like trauma bonding.
It is.
Yeah. So
talk about your shifts at the end.
Yeah. Go have a drink. Talk about fucking crackheads you took in. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a rewarding job. It's a rewarding job.
So for somebody that is trying to get into law enforcement right now, what would you say to them?
I'd say to them, have the right reasons. Have the right reasons. Obviously, as we've seen in like the news and stuff, there are bad apples out there. Granted, that comes with everything. But as long as you have the right reasons and you stay grounded to the good things in the job, you're going to have a blast, dude. It's the dopamine hits when you get in the car chases or like foot chases. Nothing compares. Or when you go to a call and you feel like you resolved it in a way that benefited the person who called to report it, and they feel good about the outcome, and it doesn't necessarily lead to someone going to jail, but like just the simple things like that, where you can show up and be positive and have a positive influence on someone else's situation. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm sure you've heard this 100 times, we're showing up on someone's crappiest day. And so it was always preached to me, show up and be the officer that you'd want showing up for you or your family. So that'd probably be the biggest takeaway I'd give to someone.
Yeah, man. Do you see yourself being an officer for your entire life?
Yeah. I've had this talk quite a few times with my buddies back home. So this is my 3rd agency. I know that kind of sounds bad, but we talked about it a little bit. It's all about finding a place where you get along with your coworkers and you don't dread going to work and you look forward to it. It's not a job at that point. It's going and hanging out for the most part. I've told them countless times since I started with them, it's been nothing but a love for the job and going in every day. So I could see myself retiring with this agency for sure. And who knows, maybe end up out here.
Enjoying the canyon, yeah.
But you think it's the end game for you?
I'd say so. It's the only thing I wanted to do, so
it's the only thing that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Exactly. I think in life we all have one purpose, and then until you find that, it's just the journey and almost like a treasure hunt until you find it. It's crazy.
Speaking of life and purpose, if you could say it in one sentence, my purpose is what would you say?
This is going to sound cliche and kind of corny, but I feel like my purpose is serving people, whether that's the community, things like that. Just being able to help in a way that, this is going to sound a little selfish, but I mean, it's just the reality of it. I can do a job and receive an income and still be able to help people while doing my job, if that makes sense, without sounding super selfish. But yeah.
Okay.
If that answers your question,
it does.
Sidetracked.
It answers it perfectly. We were talking earlier, you telling me that you kind of recently found God and all that. Can you walk me through that story?
So I grew up in the Catholic Church, baptized Catholic. All of my grandparents, well, I can't say all. I know my mom's side, she was Catholic. My grandpa, I don't know. I don't talk to him much, but anyway, grew up Catholic. It kind of ruined it for me. And so probably from about my early teenage years, probably 14, somewhere in there, stepped away from religion, kind of just out living for myself. And then eventually, fast forward to last year before, it all happened after a breakup. I thought I was going to marry this woman. Things didn't work out, is what it is. It's the way life goes. And I did a lot of soul searching and looking inward and kind of picking apart things I could have done better in the relationship, or faults that I had that could have caused XYZ in the relationship. And the further I dug down, the more it pointed back to, well, what's your purpose in life? Like, what's the point of it, you know? And so I've got one coworker, and I'll give him a shout out, because Kyle Kennebeck, he's kind of the whole reason I started looking towards religion and everything. He hosts a Bible study every other Tuesday. Went to a couple of those. I haven't been the best at, showing up and partaking, but he put me back on the right path. And shortly after everything happened, I got into a vehicle pursuit, and it was still, getting back into religion and, doing my research and stuff, because growing up in a church, I don't know about you, but I didn't retain much. Granted, I was a kid. I wasn't paying the most attention to getting the most out of everything, but yeah, he got me my foot back in the door. I started doing more research on my own, and I got in a pursuit at work, and one thing led to another. We're going 125 miles per hour. Vehicle pulls out in front of me. Luckily, I'm able to swerve hard to the left. I hit the median, get some air, and slam it back down. Almost went head on with a group of cars. Almost hit a telephone pole. Almost hit a tree. Almost hit a parked train. Like, where the cruiser ended up, there's no way I could have steered it and avoided everything that was in that area and not A, been hurt myself, B, nobody else got hurt, and then C, like, I didn't hit anything else there, dude. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. It was mind-blowing. There's no way I had any control of that vehicle going that fast, being in the air, the swerving, because at a certain point when you're swerving and the car's turning, you can crank the steering wheel all you want, but it was definitely a Jesus take the wheel kind of moment. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe divine intervention had everything to do with walking away from that. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of like what solidified, like, dude, you need to figure it out. So here we are.
And how's that journey been since,
Since then, it's been ups and downs, because, you're trying to go on this faith journey, and the world in general is sinful. It's full of sin. There's a lot of temptations, things like that. So it's been a big thing. You struggle with it every day. I'm sure you have your struggles just as much as the next guy does. So it's been a constant battle of, what does he want for me? What does he intend for me? Versus what I want and my selfish needs and wants. I can't even say needs, they're wants. But it's been a lot of that going back and forth. And it's the first time in my life where I've actually, sat and taken time to pray and try to have that relationship with God. And it's been interesting. It's been tough, but overall, I can tell life has been easier, and life has made more sense and has more purpose, or actually has a purpose now compared to then. Mm-hmm. So I think it's been a struggle, but to sum things up, it's been a good journey.
Okay. Good journey. That's beautiful, man.
I mean, all in all, he got me here, right?
Looking at God's creation,
exactly.
Literally.
Exactly.
So what do you think the Lord is putting on your heart right now in this moment?
On my heart right now in this moment, I think this is just an impression of what he's capable of. Mm-hmm. And if he's capable of this and this much beauty here on earth, imagine what heaven's like, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine the canyons in heaven. It's gotta be insane, dude. And like, him allowing us to have something like this while we're here on earth is it's such a blessing, right? And it really makes me think, like, what heaven will be like one day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
What about me? Obedience. I think that has been the theme of the past few months. Because in the past, wanting to pick my own desires,
Yep.
and then end up falling directly on your face.
Yep.
Now it's like, okay, there's nowhere else to turn to but actually just give God your yes. And so
it always bites you in the ass.
Exactly.
One way or another, it comes back around.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely does.
So what advice would you give somebody that's new to the faith and is trying to explore it?
So as someone who's still, on my journey, granted, I've only been doing my research and putting the foundation down for a relationship with God for the last year and some change. Mine is trust the process. Take the time to sit down and A, read the Bible. B, make time, whether it's for me, it's my drive from my apartment to where I clock in at work. Take the time and have that conversation with God every day. It may not seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, one, it's very therapeutic, and two, it's, just being able to connect. It almost feels surreal every time because, you're by yourself. You can openly admit things that you maybe wouldn't feel comfortable, admitting to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, let's say something at work's been bothering me, and it's not something I'm comfortable enough to talk about with my coworkers. Because I don't know about you, but for me, there's a little bit of a stigma around, speaking your feelings and stuff at work. But being able to do that and have that relationship with him and him show me guidance and kind of give me a peace of mind, that would definitely be my 2 cents to someone just starting out. Have faith.
Mm-hmm.
And trust the process.
Faith goes a long way.
It does. Further than this canyon, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what would you tell the Wyatt in the past, knowing what you know now?
Figure it out sooner, dude. There's a lot to figure out. It took you way too long. Do the steps now so you're not wasting time later.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you only have so much time on earth to serve him.
Mm-hmm.
And to hopefully one day be accepted into the big shiny gates in the sky,
Mm-hmm.
And starting later, it's good and all. It's fantastic, but could have made things a lot easier on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. And then not holding on to things in the past so much.
Mm. Is that something you did a lot, or?
Yeah, I'm still guilty of it to this day. I hold quite a bit of resentment towards my dad. I haven't talked to him in years. So yeah, probably working on letting go of that a lot sooner than now, where I haven't even started to face it. That's, one of the next steps.
Mm-hmm.
is accepting everything that happened, and then being able to maybe one day sit down and have that conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, God willing.
Mm-hmm. That's real, bro.
Yeah.
So that's past 5 years down the line. What does life look like for Wyatt?
Yeah, I've actually put a lot of thought into this lately. Okay. All right. So this county I work for, a lot of small towns, right? Hopefully, they're few and far to come by right now, but acreage. All right. I don't want to build my own house. I want something with a little history to it. Out somewhere with a little bit of land, and I want kids running around. I want to be married. I want, her to be happy, it to be a God-centered and God-fearing wife, and marriage in general, and be able to raise my children in this kind of small town aspect of things, because I'm not a fan of the city at all, and I feel like small town values, I think that's where I want to raise my kids. God willing. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Gotta be married first.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Someone I'm talking to right now could be the one. but time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
Time will tell. It's one of those things, man. You pray on it. God, give me a sign. You know, show me this is the person that you've handpicked for me specifically. And I mean, so far, not seeing any reason why it's not. So we'll see what happens. 5 years is a lot of time, man.
It is.
It is, but it isn't.
It's like it goes fast, but then
it flies by.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What's your 5 years?
5 years. That's a good question. I see myself staying at this current department by 5 years time. Settling down.
Yeah.
I would say settling down. Maybe still in Texas.
Okay.
But I would see within 5 years I'd like to have a kid or two, you know, and just building that life with my woman. And honestly, I think I can't pinpoint exactly what it'll be, but whatever it is to live in peace, that's what I see my 5 years, you know? And
yeah.
that's kind of what my goal is, to live a life in
awesome.
Peace, you know?
That'd
so
awesome.
That's what I would say.
If I could achieve the feeling I get looking at this in just everyday life, that'd be fantastic.
It would.
Like, I'm knocking so many rocks down. Hopefully nobody's down there.
I ain't hear no screams, so.
Not yet anyway. It's a long way down. We got a long ways to travel.
All right. So my last question for you is there anything that you would like to say to the people maybe back your hometown, people that may see this, people you've interacted with in the past or future? What would you say to them in a few sentences?
A few sentences. I'm going to kind of voice this to someone that's been in my life for a while. It's the type of person where I've tried to, you know, lead them towards God and stuff, but they're not seeing it. You know, I'm praying for you. I hope one day you'll understand what I see in a relationship with God. And until then, is what it is. I'll continue to pray for you. But I hope that one day you'll see the light.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it's probably the main person I'd like to speak to.
Okay.
Without going into too many details.
Okay.
He's got a lot going on in life, and I think having Jesus in his life would help him navigate where he's at currently.
Mm. Well, on behalf of all YST platforms, we'll be praying for him. Yeah. But man, I'm so glad that you got to come on to this podcast.
Well, it's nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, I just met you.
Exactly.
It's crazy the people you run into.
It really is.
But yeah, with that in tune, well, this is another episode of Your Spoken Truth podcast with my guy Wyatt in the Grand Canyons of all places. We'll see you whenever I see you.
Thanks for having me.
Amen.